Alright guys, today is an episode of the best of the rest, and basically the first game I watched this weekend was Everton v Man United. Everton won the game 1-0, which was a vital victory for Everton, given the situation they were in after Wednesday's defeat to Burnley. And this weekend has been quite a good weekend if you are an Everton fan. Um, they didn't start off the better side. Man United, first 25 minutes were really lively. Marcus Rashford, it was the best 25 minutes I've seen him play this season. He was putting himself about. He was getting shots off. He was just really involved like that. That's one of the things Rashford struggled with this season is dominating the game or making himself known to the opposition. He drifts out of games too often this season. But he started the game really well, and then Fred got injured for United, which was a massive loss to them because Fred this season, I think you can argue, has been Man United's best player, maybe along with David De Gea and probably those two. Fred and De Gea. But when he got subbed off, that was just like an instant loss to United, and it seemed to affect the players instantly because Everton, first attack of the game, Richarlison gets forward on the left-hand side and tries to pass it to Iwobi. Iwobi sort of unknowingly lays it off to Anthony Gordon, and Gordon gets the shot off, big deflection off Harry Maguire, and sends David De Gea the wrong way. Now, a lot of people have criticised Maguire for this. It happens, you can't fault Maguire for that. He's just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not bad positioning, just unfortunate. And came off sort of like the under of like this area here, and just the other side of the goal to where the shot was originally going. And that is a massive goal for Everton because given that Burnley lost to Norwich this weekend, that puts Everton 4 points above Burnley again now, when it was just the 1 point on Thursday. So even if Burnley still have an easier run of games to Everton, it is still a margin between the two of them that Burnley need to break, which they're going to struggle to do, I think. United for the remainder of the game just really struggled to create anything. They just looked completely out of ideas, and to be honest, just looked like a team who've already accepted the fact that they are going to be playing Europa League football at best next season. And that's if they can beat West Ham to 6th spot, because in my eyes, Tottenham and Arsenal are going to get 4th and 5th. So I think Man United and West Ham are going to be fine for 6th, and whoever doesn't get 7th. I think Wolves have sort of dropped out of the European race now. I think they're going to finish 8th because they've got a comfortable margin above the likes of Leicester and Crystal Palace. So they should be all right. But United is just really mediocre, to be honest. And Ronaldo showed his frustration at full time, whacking someone's phone on the floor, and by all reviews of it, it looks like he smashed the phone to pieces. Which wasn't the nicest thing to do ever, but I can see why he gets frustrated when you've constantly got someone's phone in your face when you've just had a bit of an embarrassing defeat in the Premier League. I just think United, they just need to get start over again with Ronaldo's a great player, but he's not the future, so therefore United need to get rid of him and start building now, in my opinion. And then Chelsea absolutely smashed Southampton 6-0. I mean, Southampton seem to have it like a game like this every single season now. A few years ago, it was Leicester 9-0 at home. Last year, Man United 9-0 at Old Trafford. This year, losing 6-0 at home to Chelsea. It was just, over after 20 minutes. Timo Werner hit the post twice early on. In fact, he hit the post 3 times overall in the game. That was in the first half an hour. The first goal came from Marcus Alonso, brilliant flick by Mason Mount to lay off to him, and Alonso just smashed it through the legs of Forster. The second goal, brilliant volley half volley sort of by Mason Mount. Really surprised the goalkeeper by taking it early and hit it really hard into the bottom left corner. The third was just a horrendous mistake by James Ward-Prowse, who is usually a very good player, but had a real off day on Saturday, and just laid Timo Werner off through. And you just never feel confident with Timo Werner through one goal, but he took this really well. He took it round for Fraser Forster and put it into an open net, proper striker's goal. And the fourth, a horrendous error by Mohamed Salisu. Again, another player who's maybe not at the level of importance to Southampton as James Ward-Prowse, but has still nonetheless improved massively over the past 12 months after a tricky first year in England. I don't know what he was doing or what he was trying to achieve. He tried to dribble through Chelsea's attack with a bit of a mazy run and eventually fell over. Timo Werner ran with the ball past the rest of Southampton's defenders, got the shot off, hit the post. Kai Havertz got the rebound, and that made it, I'm losing count here, 4. The fifth came from an N'Golo Kante shot that was saved by Forster. Timo Werner tapping once again. And the final one, just a scramble, and it fell to Mason Mount, and he got his second of the game. That was quite a mammoth explanation of all of Chelsea's goals. And yeah, just poor game for Southampton. It seems to happen every now and again with Southampton. But I do feel as though Southampton have improved though this season, because they had that spell from about November to, I don't know, maybe March, where they looked like a side who were playing they were playing like a side who are in the top half of the table. At the moment, I think they're 14th, so they're not in danger of getting relegated, but they're not close to challenging for a European spot. Which, I mean, had they continued their form of January and February, you never know. There could have been a possibility. It's not impossible, but not consistent enough yet. Southampton, they've definitely got room to improve. And I think the worst part about it for Southampton on Saturday was the fact that if Fraser Forster hadn't made a few decent saves, and I'm not saying he had a good game at all, but he did make a couple of vital saves, which, stopped it from being ridiculously embarrassing. And yeah, I also think now Timo Werner, Chelsea play better when Timo Werner's in the team to Lukaku, even if Timo Werner isn't getting the same amount of goals Lukaku gets, purely because it's similar to Ronaldo at Man United. I think Ronaldo and Lukaku, they're very good players, but they are very suited to leagues that aren't the Premier League, because in the Premier League you have to be alert, you have to be powerful, you have to be, which they are, but quick and powerful, which they're not anymore. And you need a lot more speed than they have, and that's just how it works in the Premier League now. So that's when I think Chelsea play best without Lukaku. And then lastly, Brentford beat West Ham 2-0. And I mean, this was just a game that I think really nailed in the point that West Ham do not have the strength in depth required to compete at the highest level, whilst also in a European competition, because so many of their players just looked absolutely knackered on the pitch yesterday. Mikel Antonio in particular. I mean, so much there's so much reliance from West Ham on Antonio because he is their only real striker. Who else have they got up front other than him? Yarmolenko can sort of fill in that role, but he's not really the same player as Antonio is, and Vlasic has been used there, Bowen as well, but none of them are really forwards like Antonio is. And they just need so much more in depth, because they just can't compete for European football whilst in a European competition as well. There were very few chances though in the first half of this game. It was quite a dull watch the first half. And Mbeumo probably had the pick of the chances in the first half, where he took an early shot and forced a save out of Fabianski, but other than that there was little else going on. The second half though, Brentford sort of got a goal out of almost nowhere. Tony flicks on the ball through to Mbeumo, and once again he took it really early on the half volley with his left foot. And this time he caught Fabianski out and managed to sneak it into the near bottom corner. And then he returned the favour to Ivan Toney as he sort of cushioned across the ball. He cushioned the ball across to Toney's head. I can't speak today. And Toney nodded it into the back of the net. And yeah, that was the sort of link-up play that those two were showing in the first few weeks of the season, which, I mean, it was why Brentford had such a strong start to the season, partly because those two were playing really well. And I think Brentford are a team who are going to do better next season than they have this season, because one, the club is a really well-run club. Like, they are quite unique in the sense that they don't actually have an academy. I don't think they have a B team, which, you know, is an interesting way of doing things, and it seems to work for them. They also have a very good recruitment system, and also this season they have missed key players at key times. Like I remember their goalkeeper David Raya missed a big portion of the season in the winter months. And they've also had defenders out quite a lot of the time. I think pretty much all of their defenders have missed a fair portion of the season. Pinnock, Christopher Ayer as well, and also the addition of Christian Eriksen. If they can get him permanently in the summer, that'd be such a great signing, because he is he is a level above anything else they've got. But I do like some of their players at midfield. I do like Norgard, and I do like Vitaly Janelt. They are two good midfielders who are playing well at the moment. So they have a real opportunity here, Brentford, next season to break into the top half of the table, because they are a good side when they have got everybody fit, and they just need to sign a couple more players in the summer, and they should be able to do that, I think. West Ham, yeah, as I've already said, they were just absolutely knackered, and once again it's another injury that's not going to help them. Losing Kurt Zouma like in the start of the game. And Craig Dawson also had a bit of a head injury at the start of the game, but he managed to survive. And yeah, it's just going to be a tough watch, I think, for West Ham the final few games of the season. Just hopefully they can progress in the Europa League and get somewhere in that. Hopefully try and win it. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.